running mate debate and got pleasantly surprised when Rigathi Gachagua unleashed his Mwakenya to define the concept of state capture.
Capture is where the people in power compete with citizens for scarce resources, where the people in power use their position to advantage themselves to get business unfairly, where people in power allocate resources to projects where they have an interest. I have an example. In the year 20, I want to tell you what is state capture and conflict of interest. This is a Gazette Notice Legal number 1112, dated 26 June 2019. In the exercise of powers conferred by Section 106 of the Stamp Duty Act, the Cabinet Secretary of the National Treasury and Planning, on the recommendation of the Cabinet Secretary for Lands and Physical Planning, directs that the instruments executed in respect of the transactions relating to the merger of NIC, PLC, and Commercial Bank of Africa shall be exempt from the provisions of the Act by a single signature.
Read from his Mwakenya that state capture is a form of governance where some individuals do business with the state. Some individuals who are powerful, they allocate resources to areas that they have personal interest and will accrue personal benefit from the same. It seems Rigathi Gachagua's brief was to attack the president, Uhuru Kenyatta. He mentioned the president severally in this issue of state capture and tried to connect the president with anything he considered state capture. Remember, the question Rigathi Gachagua had been asked by the panel was about corruption, but he deviated from the issue of corruption, considering he himself is facing graft charges, and delved on the issue of state capture, which seemed a new concept, for he could not even define it. He needed a Mwakenya. Rigathi Gachagua, in his explanation of state capture, raised the several instances of state capture. One of them was the NIC-CBA merger, where there was exemption of payment of stamp duty of around 300 million. He talked about the Nairobi-Nanyuki railway line that serves to benefit one company that has an oil refinery in Nanyuki. He talked about Mombasa port that has been captured. He then went ahead to talk about Brookside that has captured farmers or monopolized the buying and selling of milk in this country. Well, in all these instances, he seemed to be attacking the president. And it seems this has been one of the areas of attack by Kenya Kwanza. We have seen his principal, William Ruto, in public saying that they will prosecute or come up with a commission of inquiry on state capture and they will prosecute the perpetrators. They have not said directly who the perpetrators are of this state capture, but the intention is to go for the president. Their idea of state capture is fashioned like the South African Zondo Commission of State Capture that was able to successfully investigate and net the main culprits of state capture there, the Gupta family, that ran roughshod during the reign of Jacob Zuma. And in the Zondo Commission, by reining in Zuma, they have been able to finish the Zuma dynasty. And his legacy is forgotten forever. And it seems this is the idea of Kenya Kwanza. By bringing the state capture inquiry, they will be able to net anyone who was in the Uhuru Kenyatta government and bring their political capital down and, of course, ruin their economic welfare to the point that they will never rise again and challenge Kenya Kwanza. And in this way, Kenya Kwanza will be able to reign without any interference. Well, whether they form this commission is a wait and see, because it will cause a lot of pain and anguish in both Kenya Kwanza and the ruling Jubilee, considering these same guys in Azimio, or rather in Kenya Kwanza, are still in the Jubilee government. That is all. Kindly like and subscribe this channel.